Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Around the Ballpark podcast. And it is not 1993, it is 2025. We are talking Jurassic World part like 8-ish, 9-ish, 10-ish, somewhere in there. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to preview this upcoming film, Jurassic World Rebirth. Jurassic World takes Manhattan at this point. I don't know at this point, but I am excited. For nostalgia, and I love this franchise. There's been some duds along the way. We'll get into it. Before we do, Darren, would you mind sharing some words from our sponsors down there at the bottom of the ticker?
Sure. Palm Bay, Fort Pierce. Are tax problems weighing you down? Are you behind on filings? Facing a lien? Nashville Tax Solutions is here with their expertise and dedication that you need. Their experienced team handles the IRS so you don't have to. But don't just hear from us. Clients say it best. Chris Bennett and his team turned a nightmare into peace of mind. They're sharp, they're honest, and they truly care. So don't let tax stress take over your life. Call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions. Real help. Real results.
Thank you. And we are going to, on this episode, talk about, now, I'm having some techie issues on my end, so let me know, folks. Or Darren, I guess you're the only one live here. But I'm going to hit this button. Are you seeing on your end the Jurassic World reboot on your end or no?
Yes, I am. I see it.
Okay, cool. I can't see it on my end, so it's okay, but I'm glad that it's there. So, guys, we are going to talk about Jurassic World tonight. I'm going to give a quick synopsis of what to expect from this movie. It says, Zora Bennett leads a team of skilled operatives to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. And their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to mankind. As the top secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon make a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. So, Darren, you're obviously, I'm sure you're a fan of this series. Again, it started in 1993. Then we went to The Lost World. Then we went to Jurassic Park 3. And then the Jurassic World trilogy with World and Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. And now it's a standalone film, Rebirth, scheduled to release on July the 2nd. So what are your reservations on this movie? I'm sure you have some. I know that your rating and across the board seemed to be a 7.58 range. So what are your reservations? And then what are you most excited for?
So there's a couple of things, a little bit of those nuggets, little foreshadowing of things that have never been in a previous one of these movies and Jurassic Parks. And so like I heard it might take place on an island. So that's something new. Yeah, and there might be raptors, so I think that might be something new as well. No.
Yep. That's new. It's brand new information.
Here's the problem, and I use the word problem in a good way. When you have a fan base as rabid as those who love the Jurassic Park franchise, the universe, you owe it to them not to just mail it in. It's like talk to a Star Wars fan, like don't mail it in, right? Nobody wants anyone with Jar Jar Bing. They want to see something really good. I think that this movie will be covering a lot of ground we've already covered, but they will respect the fan base and that they will give you exactly what you want and a little more. I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think, this is one of those rare franchises that no matter what, you're going to see it. You're going to go out of your way to see it. I don't do at all a lot of the reading the Rotten Tomatoes or different websites that critique certain things because I want to make those decisions for myself. Outside of when movies are coming out, that's about as far as I really dive into them, except for obviously the content for this show here. But I have never, honestly can say I've never let a review deter me from saying. Can you think on your end, Darren, of a time where you've read something and didn't still see something you were planning on seeing?
So maybe because you and I do this now for a living, and we see how the sausage is made, I can maybe share the times that they have heard me wrong. Like different. Right? We like certain things as people. And don't tell me what you think. Look, if you and I should be Yankee fans, right? But the ages that we are, the Yankees will always win, and not the Mets. But don't tell us who we should like. We love the Mets. Let's move on.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, I don't want to get too far afield, but out of all of the franchises out there, the Marvel Universe, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Planet of the Apes, what is your favorite? The Lord of the Rings. What is your favorite?
Okay, so good question. I'm not someone that can legit do a marathon of everything, right? So there's been some great Marvel movies. There've been some great, just all the ones you just mentioned. For me, I am going to jump out of that box of realm, and I'm going to say it's the Halloween franchise. That is my jam.
Love it.
There've been some duds here and there. It's just that was just near and dear to me. It's a tearjerker. No, it's something that for whatever reason, there's just something that really catches me. Now, I love some of the Marvel movies. Obviously, Jurassic World. They could have done better with Lost World and Park 3 and the second World. All that kind of stuff. So consistently, I would say Halloween. But obviously, there have been some amazing Marvel movies, some amazing Jurassic Park movies. But start to finish, Halloween.
Love it.
Now I say that I don't need another one in 2025. Let's let that last one simmer for a little bit.
How did you like the ending? Basically,
I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did, but I didn't like it. I loved the second to last one the most, and I think
they should have ended it there. I agree.
Yeah, that should have been the way that it ended, because the entire townsfolk that was still surviving from the original kind of came together, and I thought that was the way to end it, with Laurie Strode being the one, so the ending we got in the final and the finale, Halloween Ends. I'm fine with that last 10 minutes, but the rest of the movie should have ended in that previous one with the townsfolk coming together, rather than his powers going to this other Michael and this other. It just didn't resonate as much with me as it should have. And a lot of people were. I think when you put the final stamp on something, it's easier to critique that, because you're like,
right,
okay, they should have, they could have, they didn't, kind of mindset. With the Jurassic World here that's coming out, it's obviously a brand new cast here. You got some names in this that people recognize, but not from this series, of course. Scarlett Johansson being one of them, and Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend was playing Martin. So
I like the cast. I like the cast very much.
Yeah, the cast, I don't think so it'd be the issue here. It's going to sell a ton of tickets, and they're going to sell a lot of merch, like in terms of the popcorn buckets and the soda cups and the movie posters and all that kind of stuff. And it's the one movie. What I love about this, Darren, the most, this franchise, and of course I said Halloween, but like this one really is that. Even though there's a summer of blockbusters and we're doing this summer movie preview series, right? This is the one movie where I can, without a doubt, look at the family and go, this is the one we're seeing together. Like, because as the kids get older, we're all into the same things. Doesn't always get to with work and stuff. Yes, there's some kid-friendly movies like Lilo, or should I call it Lilo and Stitch and Elio and things like that. But Jurassic World is like the one where it's like we're stopping the presses and we're all going to see this together. That's what I love about it. It's just more of a homey family movie that's not just animated like the rest. So that's what I like about it.
So I find that very interesting. I want to unpack something there, because with this series, and people can say it gets formalistic or this or that, but it doesn't really, because I say this to no hubris. You know, I go to a lot of movies. I mean, a lot. And I can tell you that this series had one thing that resonated with me out of all of the other series that you talked about, more so than anything else, was one scene. And I will tell you that it changed television, zombie movies, believe it or not. Let's stay with me now, because of this one scene. Can you think of the scene I'm thinking of?
The scenes, or the number one scene.
And remember, Jurassic Park has nothing. Jurassic Park has nothing to do with zombies, as we know. But I am telling you that this one scene changed the way zombie movies were made later on in television series, based upon Jurassic Park.
I think the original breakout of the T-Rex, I think for me would be that moment. There's something about when they first drive into the park with the music playing and the gates opening. I think it would be between those two. But what do you have?
Very subtle when the raptors grab hold of the handle of the door and hold and twist the door handle and open up the door. Because before then, you never saw that. And later on, in every television show that have to deal with the end of the world, the zombies, they kind of push themselves up against doors. They can't open up doors. And then they subtly start opening up doors, because remember, the raptors were smart and they learned how to open up doors. And I just found that to be a brilliant little piece of movie making that Jurassic Park does not get nearly enough credit for.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that's when you pause and for sure. That's another. There's so many moments.
I mean, and those are those little nuggets I love. When you're making a movie, like, how do you give the fans what they want, right? The big monsters, the scares, but at the same time, you're changing things. And like, I just love that. And like, this whole, we have to get something out of here because it can help mankind. It's a nice little wrinkle. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges this franchise has to face, obviously, some of the hybrid dinosaurs, right? Like, some are going to be considered over the top, unrealistic, but so you're constantly trying to outdo yourself, but then you got at some point, okay, where's the line being drawn? Like, what do we, what's the limit? Like, do we have to create something bigger and badder all the time? So that can always be tricky, I'm sure, when you're trying to make those kind of decisions. And
no, I don't know the answer to this. Does this take place after, before? Because right now, I mean, last we knew, right, dinosaurs and humans and animals were living amongst each other. Is that still going on, or?
Yeah, it says it's a standalone movie. So that's a great question. I believe so. Dominion was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Was the final. Okay. So I believe that this, if I read this correctly, that Jurassic World Rebirth takes place 5 years after Dominion is set for 5 years after. So I think that's where we are with that. So for me, this is the number one summer blockbuster in terms of what I'm looking forward to the most. All right.
So are you opening night guy? Will you be opening night?
This will be opening weekend. I don't think so. I can't say for sure because of with Aiden's work schedule and things like that. So and we can't see it without him, kind of deal. So, but we will make sure that somewhere between Friday and Sunday that we're seeing this movie.
Oh, that's great.
So this will be the rarity, and it'll be all
excited for it too.
Yes, all four together. We'll stream live from the row C seat side. That'll go over well, right? So, yes. But thank you guys so much. You didn't really need to see this movie to know that this movie is going to be awesome, but we're glad that you're watching along with us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, turn notifications on so you can be here tomorrow when we chat about Superman, another summer blockbuster that is a must-see. And until tomorrow, until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.